It was just past midnight in a quiet California neighborhood when a doorbell camera captured something straight out of a nightmare. A figure in a vintage clown costume, standing completely still at the doorstep. The clown didn't ring the bell. It didn't move. It just stood there, staring directly into the camera for nearly 3 minutes before slowly turning away and disappearing into the darkness. The footage would go viral within hours, sending shockwaves across the internet and reopening an eerie chapter of American suburban horror. The return of the clowns. The incident took place in late September 2025 in a small town outside Sacramento. The homeowner, a 38-year-old mother of 2, had installed a Ring doorbell for safety after a recent string of package thefts. That night, her phone buzzed with a motion alert at 12:43 a.m. When she opened the live feed, her blood ran cold. On the screen stood a figure dressed in a dirty, old-fashioned clown suit, red buttons, a frilled collar, and a cracked porcelain mask painted into a smile that looked more sinister than cheerful. The figure tilted its head slightly to the left, as though studying her home. Then, it leaned closer to the lens, its glassy eyes filling the screen before it turned and vanished into the night. When police arrived, the clown was long gone. But what made this case even stranger was that the woman wasn't the only one. Within 48 hours, similar clown sightings were reported across 3 other California suburbs. Different neighborhoods. Same style of costume. Same chilling stare into home security cameras. Each sighting lasted between 1 to 3 minutes. Each happened between midnight and 1 a.m. The footage spread online like wildfire. TikTok, Reddit, and X were flooded with clips of these midnight clowns. Some users claimed it was a viral prank, others believed it was part of a marketing stunt for an upcoming horror movie. But police reports told a darker story. In at least 2 cases, homeowners reported hearing faint scratching on their doors moments before their cameras activated. Another man from Fresno claimed the clown tried to open his front gate but fled when motion lights came on. Experts quickly pointed out the disturbing similarities to the clown panic of 2016, when dozens of U.S. states reported sightings of people dressed as clowns lurking outside homes, schools, and woods. Back then, authorities dismissed most as pranks, until arrests were made for stalking and attempted kidnapping. The clown phenomenon eventually faded, but now, almost a decade later, it seemed to be making a sinister comeback. The Sacramento County Sheriff's Department launched an investigation, reviewing hours of footage from security systems and public cameras. What they found was deeply unsettling. In one clip, the clown appeared to follow a delivery truck, its shadow briefly visible in a nearby reflection. Another showed the same figure emerging from behind a hedge, staying completely motionless as cars passed by. The movements were deliberate, slow, and almost theatrical, like someone performing for an invisible audience. Forensic analysts estimated the clown was between 5 feet 10 and 6 feet tall. The costume, however, didn't match anything commercially available. The frilled collar and faded makeup resembled clown outfits from the early 1980s, hand-stitched, with signs of age and weathering. Even stranger, in one zoomed-in frame, a faint emblem could be seen stitched onto the sleeve. A faded logo that investigators traced back to a long-defunct traveling circus that once toured California in the 1970s. Merritt Sons Family Carnival. That circus had shut down after a string of bizarre accidents, including one where a clown performer named Harold Merritt vanished during a show and was never seen again. Online sleuths took the discovery and ran with it, digging through archives, local news clippings, and old footage from the Merritt Circus. One eerie pattern emerged. Each of the modern clown sightings happened within a few miles of towns the old carnival used to visit. Coincidence? Maybe. But as one Redditor wrote, the circus may have ended, but the clown never left. Psychologists and criminologists chimed in, warning that this kind of mimicry can escalate. What starts as performance art or psychological intimidation can quickly turn violent if the perpetrator feels cornered or empowered by attention. The fact that the clown never spoke, never interacted, and never vandalized, only stared, made it even more disturbing. It wasn't seeking reaction, it was observing. The homeowner at the center of the first video told local news she couldn't sleep for nights afterward. Her children refused to go near the front door. She even moved out temporarily after finding what appeared to be smeared makeup residue on the porch railing, faint streaks of white and red paint, like a hand had brushed against it. Weeks passed without new footage, and people began to move on until early November, when a motion camera in Oregon caught a nearly identical clown walking along a suburban driveway at 12:51 a.m. The movements were the same, the costume identical. It paused, stared directly into the lens, and then, once again, simply walked away. The user who uploaded it claimed their home backed up against dense woods, the same kind of wooded area where several Merritt and Sons circuses had set up tents decades earlier. The reappearance reignited national media coverage. Experts theorized it could be a copycat or a social experiment pushing boundaries of fear. Others whispered of something more supernatural, the idea that this wasn't a person at all, but something drawn to human fear itself. The unsettling truth? No suspect was ever identified. The police never caught anyone. The sightings eventually stopped, as quietly as they began. But even now, months later, strange reports continue to trickle in. Homeowners claiming they've heard faint circus music at night, or that their motion lights flick on for no reason. A few even claim they found red balloons left on their porches, tied to doorknobs or railings, always after midnight. So, what really happened that night in Sacramento? Was it an elaborate prank meant to feed off internet hysteria? Or was it something older, something darker, a lingering presence from the carnival that time forgot? Whatever the truth, the clown on that doorbell camera reminded everyone that fear doesn't always come from the supernatural. Sometimes it wears grease paint and waits quietly in the dark, just beyond the glow of your porch light. So tonight, before you head to bed, maybe check your doorbell feed. Make sure that motion alert wasn't just the wind. Because if you ever see a clown staring into your camera, you might want to turn off the lights, stay quiet, and wait for morning. If you love unraveling real-life mysteries and the chilling stories that blur the line between reality and nightmare, make sure to subscribe,